Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Crypto Roundup Show. I am your host, Daniel Elving, and thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, like this video, ping the notification bell, and comment down below. This will help us out a lot. This video is brought to you by Token Metrics, tokenmetrics.com. Anyone can use Token Metrics to invest like the experts. We use AI and machine learning to analyze the crypto market and find the coins likely to gain the most. Tools on the Token Metrics platform include rolling daily ratings and price predictions for over 6,000 coins, daily, weekly, and monthly model crypto portfolios, long and short-term trade indicators, and much, much more. Think of us as a modern Bloomberg terminal for the crypto market. Sign up to gain valuable market data and professional analysis today. So, what am I talking about today? Well, I'm going to tell you some news you should know, as well as some updates with the NFTs, Metaverse. So let's begin. So the first news I wanted to share with you guys today is that the OK Bears NFT on the Solana network has surpassed all the other Ethereum NFT projects in a single day. And this is gaining a lot more traction. As you know, Magic Eden is the largest marketplace for Solana NFTs. And now that OpenSea has allowed to trade Solana NFTs on their platform, we're seeing a lot more traction with certain Solana NFTs. And this one here, OK Bears, is a one that significantly stood out for this week. And so it beat out a lot of other NFT projects. And so it surged. And so we can see here that over the last, in just a single day, it topped the top Ethereum-based NFT projects. And so this was 10,000 unique avatars, and you can see that they have a lot of influence from Bored Ape Yacht Club, with having the disinterested look and stuff like that. And so they were launched on April 26th, and so they were at 1.5 Solana. And so if we go to OpenSea now, we can see that for the top one for Solana with the OK Bears right now, it has a floor price of 180 Solana. So that has over 100x from its initial floor price from 1.5 Solana. So yeah, it's doing really well. And so we can see that this is the first time that a Solana NFT project has been individual Ethereum projects in a 24-hour trading. And according to Tiffany, Magic Eden's head of content marketing, we are thrilled to have launched and seen 96% of the trade volume for OK Bear since launch. This new era of growth for Solana projects have just as bright of a future as projects on other chains. Communities, regardless of change, will ultimately pick winning collections. So according to Solana analytics platform, ChainCrunch, Tuesday marked the single largest day ever for NFT trading volume on the platform. And it was a top day for unique users for paying fees on the network, most active Solana apps in a single day. And so now we will move on to our next news. And our next news that we have for you today is that Euro slides to a 5-year low. And of course, due to a lot of this has to do with the situation with Russia right now. And so the President Ursula from the European Commission accused Russia of blackmail for its decision to cut ties and cut its supplies. And so the EU is highly dependent on Russian gas, and about 40% of its imports come from the country. And so there are wider concerns about a deeper economic slowdown in the region as a result of this. And as you know, if you look at the DXY index, we can see that, the dollar continues to climb because, it's a basket of other currencies in there. And as the other currencies fall, the dollar continues to rise because it's considered to be the safe haven as a currency. Even though the currency is going down due to inflation, the other currencies will go down even more. And so the euro dipped below $1.06 for the first time since 2017. And it's the dollar is nearing a 20-year high on the DXY. And so according to Carsten, a chief economist at ING Germany, the euro is clearly heading towards parity. Reasons for this weakness are the weak economic prospects for the Eurozone and huge differences in monetary policy reactions in the US and the Eurozone. And so according to George, the chief UK and Euro area economists. The weakness has been exacerbated by Russia's decision to cut gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria, meaning we're now one step closer to the same thing happening for other Euro countries. And so this means there's higher energy prices alongside a materially weaker currency will add to near-term inflation, though this intensifies the risk of a cost-living related slowdown looking ahead. Moving on to our next news we have is that there are a lot of blockchain projects that are aiming to disrupt the music industry. And as you know, there are different ones that are coming to fruition now. And so projects are trying to utilize blockchain technology to provide new solutions to the age-old music market. And so we've seen over the last 10 years, music industry has changed drastically from internet and social media development. And so artists have new mediums to share songs and have new ways to engage and support the musicians. But at the same time, they're also being cut significantly by the amount they get for musicians and all that stuff. And so we're hoping to see the blockchain industry disrupt this. And so one of them is Tune.fm. It's a platform that was powered by Hedera Hashgraph. And so they claim to be able to give musicians 90% of the music streaming revenue. And so that's 10 times more than stream earnings on other mainstream services. And so artists can earn digital tokens every time their music is streamed. And according to Andrew, co-founder of Tune.fm, with the likes of Spotify not paying them fairly, many were struggling to get by. We are the antidote for millions of creators that are not being fully paid fairly by the big streaming services. And so we have also Royale. That is another one that was co-founder Justin Blau. So he said that it is to aim to empower artists to maintain control over the network. And so you provide a proportion of your music rights over the artist does in order to share the ownership. And so basically you can provide fuel for their musicians' careers. And by co-owning music, fans will be able to establish a deeper connection and help them be independent when it comes to creativity. Another NFT project is known as Squad of Knights, and this has been gaining traction as, Gary Vee has bought into this project as well as Aaron from Old Coin Daily. And so the NFT owners will be able to create their own music, and being a different kind of association from different squads. You can choose your role, whether you're a musician, a sound engineer, or a visual artist, and you can all collaborate together to create music. And so it will let the community members own 100% of the music they produce. And so the founder and award-winning record producer, Illmind, said that finding people to work with is tough. Finding the right people to work with is even tougher. Project's goal is to bring producers, engineers, music artists, and managers together, both within the real world and the metaverse. And so we've also seen other projects, such as Audius for a Solana-based streaming platform, providing an array of decentralized audio files to the metaverse. And according to the CEO and co-founder of Audius, the platform is a decentralized repository of content with clearly defined rights to third-party developers that can pull from the platform's catalog without any issues. Next thing we want to share with you is that the Central African Republic adopts Bitcoin as legal tender. So this is the second nation in the world to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. And so it's awaiting to be signed by the legislation to have this official. And so the president, Faustin, said that the bill will be drafted by the Minister of Digital Economy, Gorna, and the Minister of Finance and Budget, Calix. And so the legislation established a legal and regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies. And so according to the France minister, quote unquote, there is a common narrative that sub-African countries are often one step behind when it comes to adapting to new technology. Central African Republic has a population of 4.83 million, and we can actually say that our country is one step ahead. And so 11% of the country only has access to the internet. So yeah, so we're looking forward to seeing this becoming adopted and, more countries adding Bitcoin as legal tender as time moves on. And moving on to our next news we have is that OpenSea acquired Gem, and chess.com makes move into the NFT space with having their own NFT marketplace. And so we can see from this is that, OpenSea wants to continue to expand from this acquisition. And we can see that They want to improve the whole overall user experience with more seasoned pro users. And so the gem lets traders buy NFTs across various collections and multiple marketplaces in a single transaction that saves on gas. And so OpenSea is adding popular gem features as its collection floor price sweeping tool and rarity-based rankings to its platform. And they will continue to integrate more gem features onto its platform in the future. And for the chess.com, they want to launch an NFT marketplace known as Treasure Chess, which will allow users to turn a chess game into an NFT for memorable experiences. We also have a visual influencer, Ray, that wants to allow women especially to get education, younger girls especially. And so she's launching an NFT project. And so 8% of the sale will go towards royalty fees to a nonprofit organization for United Women in Singapore. And so the collection called Adventures of Taco features Ray's virtual pet, Taco. And so the NFT holders of the first out of 3 series will receive an audio message from Ray and gain priority access to the launch of the second series of the collection. And she is, considered to be on her Instagram a virtual being digital artist focusing on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math advocate. Moving on to our next news we have is that Texas City Fort Worth becomes the first government to mine Bitcoin in the U.S. So, as the city being the 12th largest, home to over 800,000 residents, this initiative is in partnership with Texas Blockchain Council. And so the city government will utilize 3 S9 Bitcoin mining machines, placing them in its city hall for the mining operations, which are donated by the Texas Blockchain Council. And so they will be protected by the private network to minimize security risk. And so they will be positioning itself to be the capital of Bitcoin mining of Texas. And of course, Texas aims to be the Bitcoin mining capital of the US. And so the administration aims at becoming a leading hub for technology and innovation. And so the city estimates each will consume the same amount of energy as a household vacuum cleaner. And so there will be a nominal amount of energy needed for the program, which is expected to be offset by the value of Bitcoin mined. And so the US-based energy operator ExxonMobil also recently launched a pilot program to conduct Bitcoin mining by converting excess energy through the production of natural gas. And so the Texas state chartered banks got permission from the state regulator to provide customer custody virtual currency services. Moving on to our next news we have is that the New York State Assembly passes a ban on new Bitcoin mines that don't use green power. So, of course, this has to be approved by the state Senate before this officially gets signed into law by the governor. And so they want to pass a 2-year ban on all proof-of-work crypto mining facilities in the state that use a carbon-based fuel to power their operations. They also want anyone who does this will also be prevented from renewal of the permits issued existing proof-of-work cryptocurrency miners using carbon-sourced energy if they seek to increase the amount of electricity consumed. And so according to the Department of Environmental Conservation, they are preparing a generic environmental impact statement to number, locate, and assess the general consumption and greenhouse gas emissions of proof-of-work miners and their impact on public health. And so, so we'll see if this passes. Moving on to our next news we have is that Panama is expected to also adopt crypto, so they want to issue no capital gains tax. And so they want to favor businesses and approve crypto as a means of payment for any transaction. And so they are hoping to establish Bitcoin because, they can't just establish Bitcoin because that will be unconstitutional. If it's unconstitutional, then the project won't happen. And so Panama has no currency per its constitution, but has officially been on the US dollar for more than a century. So it was illegal before for digital asset companies to set up shop in Panama, but this will be changed with this new bill. And the last bit of news I wanted to share with you guys today is that Optimism is launching an OP token with airdrop for its early users. And so there was, speculation of this happening, and so now it's official now. And so those who have utilized Optimism will be eligible for the airdrop. And so in order to qualify, you have to include making transactions early or often on Optimism, and also actions unrelated to the L2 like Bitcoin donations, which facilitate public goods and funding. And so, of course, according to Vitalik Buterin, quote unquote, possibly the biggest attempt at not token holder centric DAO governance so far. Excited to see where this goes. As you know, they're planning to have a decentralized entity in the context of Optimism and governments. And so they want to, it's called soundbound NFTs. And so there will be non-transferable NFTs. And so this is pretty interesting what Optimism is doing. And so that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Crypto Roundup Show.